Hey guys, thanks for checking out the channel. It's Chris with eXp Educators, and today is just a fantastic day. I cannot believe I'm sitting here with the Brent Gove. I have known Brent since the Craig Proctor days back in the early 2000s. I was always fascinated with his business, and he has been mega successful. He has a fantastic real estate team that he runs in Sacramento area. We couldn't be happier to be in business with him. His organization at eXp here is massive, and I'm going to let Brent tell his story. Brent, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing fantastic. Even better now. My wife just bought me a cup of Puerto Rican coffee, baby. So I got some nitro here to kick it into gear for the video.
Right on, right on. So tell us a little bit about yourself. I know your story is well traveled, but there may be some people that have not heard your story. So tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah. Born in Southern California, San Diego, moved up to Sacramento in 1976. I was 10 and went off to college in 85 and found my way into sales by 87, dropped out of college and did extremely well in sales. I'm a people person. I love people and I'm self-motivated, kind of a Zig Ziglar kind of guy, right? That sort of thing. And did really well. Got in real estate when I was 30 and spent my first 12 years till I was about 42 at RE/MAX. Got up to where my team and I had showing agents and staff. We were selling over 400 homes annually. That was back in 2005. Yeah. I get the Quantum Leap Award. Remember, we were at Craig Proctor. So I actually won the Quantum Leap Award from Craig Proctor in 2004.
Yeah.
Business was just booming. I went there at 48 sales a year and left at 400. I 10x'd my business. And so that was great. And then the market crashed in 05. Everyone said it was 08. For Sacramento, Las Vegas, Phoenix, and Florida, it was 05. Summer of 05. I'll never forget it. In June, I closed on 55 homes. I got paid 55 times. I'm rich. Everything's great. You make 288,000 net in a month, not a year, in a month. You're like, got the tiger by the tail. Life is good. And then the next month we closed 19. And for a lot of people watch this, like 19, I'd love to close 19. That's great. But when your overhead's 128,000 a month with staff and office space and radio and TV and magazines and every website you can think of and Google AdWords and all that, website optimization, all that stuff we were doing, it was financially devastating is what it was. So I went through a lot of pain. By 09, it had been in so much pain for 4 years, not a year. Most of America, it was 08, but for me, it started in 05. So 4 years into it, I go, I need to change. I don't know what I need to do. And I found Keller Williams and started attending their stuff, loved it. A funny thing is RE/MAX said they would destroy me. They're a company for newbies. You only go to Keller Williams if you're a rookie, if you're weak, if you're a lemming. And this is the kind of stuff they said at RE/MAX. Wow. And then you sell 400 homes a year. What in the world are you going to a company for newbie agents as pathetic as Keller Williams? They would lay it on every. I'm like, I don't know. I've been to their training. It's pretty dang good. Their business planning clinics and so I went and I just said, look, if it's Keller's as horrible as you say it is, I'll be back in 6 months. Well, 8 years later, I found myself in love with Keller Williams. I got the corner office. I had run a 500 agent office by then. And life is good. I got an 18 agent team, 6 listing specialists, 12 buyer specialists. Life is good. And along came eXp, and I found eXp 4.5 years ago. And we'll get more into that. But obviously, I changed brokerages one time in 2 decades. Yeah. So I wasn't the guy who jumped around a lot, right? In 20 years, I made one change. Yeah. So this was my second change 4.5 years ago. And it's been, life-changing.
Sure.
Gravity.
Yeah. Well,
or when the cavemen discovered the wheel over the square wheel, it was really helpful. But
exactly. Change things when that happened. So, if I can take you back to the beginning and really kind of what was your belief and mindset when you got the call and from a friend of yours, and kind of take us
So we're
through.
talking the beginning of eXp, or not?
Yes, yeah, beginning of eXp, correct. Yeah.
You know, it's funny, the beginning of the real estate went the same way too. A friend of mine, Darren Remedicato, gave me the call and said, you should get real estate. You'd be great. You're outgoing. You love people. You're motivated. You just kill it. I'm like, you think so? And I got my license at 30. So, and the call went much like that for eXp. Got a call from Sheila Fairgeran out of Dallas, Texas. Single mom, 2 teenage boys going, oh my gosh, Brent. You know, I've seen you speak at a Haas-Pratt's seminar. You were amazing. I was so impressed with you. And man, I'd love your opinion about eXp. I'm like, EX what? They're like, eXp, it's the fastest growing real estate model in North America. I'm like, I never heard of it. You know, and she's like, well, man, it would mean a lot to me if you give me your opinion. So I watched it, and I was shocked. I wasn't like surprised. I was floored. When you really look behind the veil, when you lift the hood and you really look at the engine, because if I just listened to Remax told me about Keller Williams, I never would have joined Keller Williams. But I actually went to Keller Williams mega camp and family reunion and their listing classes and how to build $100 million team and the one thing and all the different things. I'm like, no, this is actually world-class training. Oh yeah. Thing. When I looked under the hood, when I went behind the veil and looked at eXp, which I'm open-minded, I wasn't surprised. I was shocked. And I made the change, and Keller Williams said it would destroy my career. It would annihilate me. It was the worst decision I ever made. And I said the same thing to Keller Williams. I said to Remax, look, if you're right, I'll be back in 6 months. I'm not buying an eXp franchise. It's a national and international real estate company. You can't buy your way in. You can build your way in, and we will be at 1 million agents in the next, take it to the bank in the next 7 years, we'll be 1 million agents in the world. 900,000 coming. And so we're just coming of age. We're like when people were just hearing about Uber and Netflix and Amazon and Airbnb. We're right there at Apple. We're right there at that infancy stage, and we're about to absolutely explode. So I don't know if I answered your question, but you know, you did,
because you kind of talked about, you know, the phone call, but it was more like, what was your belief and mindset? You know, it's a new company. You know, this is before 50, 60,000 plus agents. I don't know how many agents there were when you got there, but some tells me
1,200. And I will tell you this, belief and mindset. I remember having empathy for anyone that was not at Keller Williams. I mean, like, oh my gosh, if they only knew, only knew what Keller Williams was about, they would not be at Compass. They would not be at Sotheby's. They would not be at Christie's. They would not be at Berkshire Hathaway. They would be at Keller Williams. And I remember feeling sorry for having empathy for anyone at any of the brokerage. Like they just don't get it. Right. They don't get it. Like, oh, I'm Remax. I'm Coldwell Banker. You're a fool. If you haven't looked at Keller Williams, I thought this was an eXp thing. If you want to compare apples to apples, they're like, I checked out eXp once and blah, blah. I mean, I checked out Keller Williams once. Check it out again. You know, I went to Craig Proctor 20 years ago, and the guy next to me sat with his arms crossed, his legs crossed, his eyes crossed. And he's like, this is a bunch of crap, and he just wants our money, and I'm out of here. This is a scam. And he left. I sat there. I was selling 48 homes a year. I go, of course he wants our money. He's a trainer. I mean, he's got a coaching program. This is how he makes a living. I mean, if I was training, I'd want people's money too. I wouldn't do it for free. When I list their homes, I want their money. I want to get paid a commission. You know, it's how the world works, people. And I remember his attitude was so bad, he left. I went, I think I'm going to sign up for coaching. You know, those suckers. I went and signed up for coaching. All I know is that 5 years later, I was selling 400 homes a year, and I 10x my business because my mind was open to the possibility. Right. So that's where my mindset was. If you're not at Keller Williams, like there's Keller Williams and there's everybody else down here. I mean, and kudos to Keller Williams for making me feel that way. Yeah. So same here. So why is Brent at eXp if Keller Williams is so amazing? I didn't know about eXp. eXp wasn't invented. I mean, it was in 2009, but it didn't come in front of my radar till the end of 2016. It was October 21st. When you know the day, like, you know, the day your son was born, or the day I got married September 28th, 1991. This next week is my 30-year wedding anniversary. But when you know the day, like 9/11, when you know the day something happened, and I know the day I saw eXp. I can't tell you the day I saw Remax. I can't tell you this day I saw Keller Williams. I can tell you the day I saw EXP, and
Wow.
it's been, I mean, people watch this. Okay, so what's the big deal? This year, and I'm just a guy with 7 kids. I coach soccer. I coach Little League. I'm busy at church, men's camp. I'm involved in men's ministry at my church. I play golf every Friday. I love it. That's my thing. And I like to watch cage fighting. What about me? UFC school. And I got kids, and I'm trying to be a husband and a dad and be a business guy. And I'm like anybody else. I have my struggles. I just lost a bunch of weight. I still need to lose more weight. I'm nobody special. I will probably close 100,000 home sales this year. 100,000 sales, not 1,000, 100,000 closings throughout the US and Canada this year. No problem. I'm going to have to do the math, but no problem.
Yeah.
And that's all within a 5-year period of time. I've got an eXp. Next month will make 5 years. So to be able to, I've never seen anything like it. And I'm not that fancy. I think there's guys that are much smarter than me, but the model is that powerful.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's got square wheels, and we found the round wheel. I'm sorry, you're going to go faster if you got a round wheel. Netflix was a better model for delivering a product to the endpoint consumer than Blockbuster. What happened to Blockbuster? Oh, that $6 billion company that clobbered everyone, they were gone in 5 years.
Yeah.
Digital downloads was a better way for delivering music to the world than record stores, where people go in and buy DVDs and vinyl record players and cassette tapes and CDs. And remember, we used to do all that stuff. Oh, you scratched my vinyl record, you scratched my CD, and now it's just boom, boom, digital downloads, Pandora, iTunes, whatever.
Yeah.
So people create a better way of doing things. Amazon found a better way for people to get product, and it's now the largest company in the world. And eXp is the Amazon of real estate. We will finish all franchises. We will absolutely bury them. And I'm just the model's irrevocable. eXp agents own the company. I knew I didn't own Remax for 12 years. I knew I didn't own Keller Williams for 8 years I was there. At eXp, we own it with Glenn, and a rising tide rises all ships.
Yeah.
And anyways, I digress. I'll give it back to you.
No, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. You touched on something that, when you were at Remax, they said, blah, 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 blah. And horrible decision for you. And then you went to Keller, which was fantastic. And I kind of followed the same trail. I was at Remax, and then we went to KW. And same way like you, I thought, I'm never leaving here. I got to meet some fantastic people, great folks, and the training was awesome, and so on and so forth. And then I got the call. And of course, they're like, oh, why don't you just buy the stock and stay here? I'm like, well, I said, that sounds great, but I see something here. I see something. And you talked about one thing, and my big question for you, because I get this question on a regular basis, how has it changed you and your family's lives compared to, say, 4.5 years ago? Coming up on 5 now, but 4.5 years ago.
Well, I can tell you this, all those years at Remax and Keller Williams, and we do recognition at eXp, and Remax and Keller Williams is recognition. They go, here's your trophy. You're number 3 in the region. You're number 1 in the office. Here's your trophy. Here's your plaque. And we do that too. We do that too at eXp. But they also have stock awards that are triggered by hitting certain sales metrics. And I'll give you an example. Everyone thinks, well, I got to go recruit people if I go to eXp. Not at all. I have friends that said, look, I don't want to recruit, but I like the model, 80-20 split, caps at 16 grand. I go to 100%. The most I'm outputting is 16 grand. I like you. Hey, fine, I get some of this stock. Every single one of my friends that I can think of that followed me to eXp that was selling 50 or 60 homes a year, which is a decent producer for sure. They all have $3 to $5 million worth of stock. They weren't recruiters. So they changed where they sold their homes, but it triggered stock awards. We have the trophies and plaques, right?
Yeah.
But the difference is I have friends who have sold stock and paid off their homes in California, not Ohio. And there's nothing wrong with Ohio or Detroit, but I'm talking homes that cost, $600,000, $800,000, $1 million, $2 million. I'll tell you a funny story. About 3 years ago, I bought a brand new home. Things are going really well. I had my real estate team, and then all of a sudden I'm making $100,000 a month 3 years ago in
Yeah.
revenue share, not a year, a month. And so I bought a new house, brand new, spanking new house. It was cute. My friend bought one. He goes, you should buy the one next door. I walked in, went into the sales thing, and I bought it. And I bought a home next to my best buddy. So I need to put it in the backyard, right? There, it's just dirt, right? So they say pay cash for things. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to pay cash. We're going to put, it's California, so I'm going to build the backyard resort. I did this before COVID-19. Didn't know I'd need it, right? But we put in the palm trees and the waterfalls and the pool and the jacuzzi and the outdoor kitchen, the lawn with volleyball and the beautiful rocks and plants and trees and night lighting and water features. And it was stunning. And you could put it in Sunset Magazine. I mean, it was like, wow. And I paid cash for it. You know what I did? I sold a little bit of EXPI stock and sliced off about 200 grand, just paid cash for it. Because we're taught by David Ramsey and Susan Orman and financial planners, hey, pay cash for things. Your grandparents, pay cash for things, son, be responsible. So I thought, I'm not going to finance my backyard. I'm going to pay cash. Sure. Biggest mistake of my life. That 200,000 worth of stock has now appreciated 200,000 to 3 million. So let me tell you this. Chris, have you ever seen a $3 million pool? Or $3 million?
Maybe at the Olympics. I don't know.
I have a $3 million pool, baby.
Awesome.
And it looks like a $200,000 pool. The point is this.
Perfect.
So we have not sold a share of stock since. And every chance we get, we pick up another 50, 100 grand, 50, 100 grand. And we have 15 other investments under 15 uncorrelated assets. And we got some gold, we got some silver, we got some crypto, we got, different investments in different, startups in different, S&P, Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, the Nikkei, and we're diversified. So we're not all into EXPI, but man, we receive these stocks. So that's a big difference. Like, why would Chris and Brent leave Keller Williams? We're so fun with it because after 8 years, we had nothing but what was in escrow. Well, sell your business. Go sell your business. See who will buy it. Your clients are in love with you. They sell to Bob, but like, we don't know Bob. We know Chris. Yeah. And so it's not as easy to sell your business as you would think. Oh, I know a guy who did it. Yeah, 1 out of 50,000. And so here's the deal. That stock equity piece is amazing. Well, what about the little guy? My agents, I brought over 18 agents. A lot of them have 50, 100, 200,000 worth of stock. Well, that's not very much, 50 grand. What do you have after the last 4 years at your company? I would call it no grand. You have no grand, right? Yeah. And so, I mean, that's, and those agents were selling like 5 homes a year and they have $50,000. And they're more excited about their 50,000 than we are our millions because they know how little they did. Some of my agents have $250,000. Some have $500,000. 3 of my buyers agents, have $1 million in stock. They could hit sell in their Charles Schwab account, sell and put $1 million cash in their bank account. They cry. They look at me and go, thank you for having the vision to do EXP. Because if we had stayed at our old brokerage, and I won't say the name, I'll just do the initials, KW. If we had stayed at our old brokerage, we would have nothing. I mean, a profit share. There's no stock awards. You could buy a little piece of a market center, okay? Sure. I'm talking, it was given to us for doing things we were already doing, selling homes. And then you kick in the revenue share piece, which is, I mean, within 13 months, it was $55,000 a month, not a year, a month. That'll change your life. You can budget on that. You can make your house payment, your car payment, your rentals. And then 4 months later, by my 17th month, it was over $100,000 a month. And I go, I did this while listing, 30 homes. I was doing 60. I did cut my production in half to kind of focus on that. So I gave a part-time effort for 17 months. I went, what would happen if I actually focused on this? That's now over $100,000 a month. If I gave it a full-time focus. So I did that after 17 months. I never listed another home, gave it all to my team, all of my listing specialists, all of my complete 7th level, as they call it. 8 months later, it was $200,000 a month.
Wow.
And then 3.5 years in, it was $350,000 a month.
That's like $4 million a year.
Oh yeah. And then this last year, it jumped within about 8 months, it jumped to $750,000 a month. They went up $400,000 a month in 7 months on top of the 350. And so now I've been anywhere from 750 to over 900,000 a month. In the last 30 days, my back office said I earned $1 million worth of rev share in the last 30 days. And that has never happened to me. That was the first time. But it's like, and the sky's the limit. We're just getting warmed up. You might be thinking, am I too late? No, you're not. We have become relevant. You know what everyone said a year or two ago? They'll never make it. They'll never make it. Then we went on the NASDAQ, and now we're making massive profit. The stock shot up and took the company from 20 million to over 6 billion. And I believe we'll be 90 to 100,000, no problem, by the end of this year, by the end of 2021. And that'll take our stock. 64,000 made it worth 6 billion. What about when we have 250,000? And we're going to do that. We're going to have 250,000. That'll happen in the next 24 to 36 months.
Yeah.
We're the largest real estate company in the world. Nobody has 250,000 agents, and we will. And that's 4 times the 64,000. So you could take our current valuation and you could do what you want with it. I'm not supposed to make a forward statement, and nor am I. I'm not a financial planner. I'm not a stockbroker. I'm not selling you the stake. But I've watched that stock go from $2.90 a share to 5 to 10 to 20 to 30 to 40 to 50 to 60 to 70 to 80. Today, it's almost $90 a share. Now it's split. So if you look online, it's like $42 a share, whatever, which is like 84 a share. In fact, I'll do a real-time update right now. So the eXp stock is right there. I keep it on my thing. It's $44.12, which is $88 a share, because we just went through a split.
Right.
We have double the amount of stock. So if you add it back in, it's 88. We didn't lose anything, but we have double the amount of shares. And it's going to grow up again to 100. And it's going to split again back down to 50, and we'll double the amount of shares. It's a really good thing. And we started paying dividends. It's now a dividend paying stock, which means there's so much money to, like, here, we're going to give back money to all of our shareholders. So every quarter, we're all getting paid from our stock without selling our stock. It's creating income. That's a dividend stock. It's pretty cool.
So that's definitely changed things around the Gove household, to say the least.
I keep a home in Northern California, and right there, that is the ocean. That is the Caribbean. I have a home out in the Caribbean now, and we're looking at moving up to Dorado Beach, to the Ritz-Carlton property, and getting a weekend beach house up there. But it's pretty cool. And the main thing, we can help people. Yeah. I have an Excel spreadsheet of causes we support. And someone called us a few weeks ago, and hey, there's 200 Afghan refugees coming in. They don't have anywhere to sleep. They sleep on the ground. And my wife's like, done. And they go, we need 200 beds. We need 200. My wife bought 200 beds just like that. We had the money to do it. Yeah. FCA, Fellowship of Christianity, we need 1,000 Bibles. We got to give away 1,000 Bibles to high school kids who are thinking about suicide and the meaning of life. And then I'm like, here, God loves you. You got a great life, a great plan for your life. And we're able to, boom, buy 1,000 Bibles. And right now we're rebuilding 5 families' homes here in Puerto Rico. We're going to do 100. That's our first goal, is to rebuild 100 families' homes. The Hurricane Maria hit right here. It hit literally in Palmas del Mar, right there. It came ashore like Katrina did in New Orleans. It hit, literally, this was ground zero. Yeah. And so there are families who still haven't recovered. So it's nice to have the finances to make a difference, instead of saying what my financial planner told us to say. When people ask you for the money, say this, say, our giving budget is full for the year. We've maxed out our charitable contributions. Check with me next year. And they actually coach you on what to say, because like, oh my gosh. And it's because it's awkward when people say, hey, can you donate $1,000, $5,000? And they're good causes. Yeah. Fighting human trafficking, good cause. Helping widows and orphans, good cause. Feeding people who are hungry and clothing people, good causes, fresh water. But when you don't have the money, because you're just like, I'm barely making it. So I've seen eXp be radically life-changing for so many people. Yeah.
Well, obviously, Brent, you have been unbelievably successful. Of course, everybody forgets that that's been an immense amount of work that you put in. You're still putting it in. And another question I have for you is, what drives you today? You could sit there and you could probably hit the coaster button and go, hey, you know what? I'm good. The Gove family is going to be okay.
That's right. That's a great question, Chris. So today I work Monday through Thursday, 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. because I'm in Puerto Rico. It's Eastern. So I'm from California, Northern California, Sacramento area, between San Francisco and Lake Tahoe, if you know the geography over there. And so really it's 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. So I kind of work 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. West Coast, Pacific Coast time.
Sure.
1 to 6 out here Monday through Thursday. I take Friday, Saturday, Sundays off, and we go. We literally pack go bags. We leave Thursday night or Friday morning. We don't come back till Monday. We hit the freeway. We're like, I don't know, babe, you want to go left, right, straight? We're like, left. And we go left, and we just get lost on the island. We have no idea where we're going. We have no idea where we're staying, but we can pretty much afford to stay wherever we want to go, do whatever we want to do. We could get on a plane and fly to another island. Let's go. Let's hop on a plane. Let's go. And it's so fun. But here's what keeps me going. Here's what keeps me going. Are you ready?
All ears.
I used to help people with the American dream of home ownership. And it's very rewarding when you help a family buy a home and they cry and you do the selfie in front of the sold sign and they invite you back for the 4th of July or a housewarming. And I'm touchy-feely, and there's nothing better than working with buyers. Most people don't like it. Well, you don't like it because they run you ragged, but it really is when they get their home and they're so grateful and they cry and they get emotional and you hand them the keys at the closing table or at the house with a bottle of wine or champagne or a gift or whatever, flowers, and it's a good feeling. So I used to help people with the American dream. Used to help sellers sell and retire, all that stuff. But you know what I do now?
Tell me.
I help agents' families. I help real estate agents. I help agents' kids. Because if I could help mom and dad, I'm helping the kids. And now I'm able to impact the lives of 64,000 people. At the end of the year, it'll be about 95 to 100,000 people. So I when people ask me to be on podcasts, I jump on. They want me to do a Zoom, I'm there. You want me to talk to someone, I'm there. But I'm there Monday through Thursday, 1 to 6. What do you do every morning? I walk the beach right out here with my wife. We go I played golf this morning, went to the beach club, and we swam from 11 to 1 for 2 hours. We grab lunch, we'll go out to breakfast, we walk, we play coffee, we're going to pick up pickleball. But I'm able to do those things because I was able to look behind the veil. Again, had I listened to Remax, I'd never be at Keller Williams. Had I listened to Keller Williams, I'd never be at eXp. Keller Williams was a really great step for me. It's a fine company, but you will churn and burn for years and years and years and years and years and years. And hopefully 20 years from now, you'll be able to retire. And I'm telling you right now, in 17 months, I was done. I was able to retire in 7. Well, you still work. I don't know. I guess you could call working 1 to 6, Monday through Thursday work. I guess I don't have to, like you said, I don't have to, but I want to make a difference. So if you're watching this, here's what I want you to do. I want you to watch themodelexplained.com. It's a webinar I did, a kind of a benefits briefing, kind of a briefing on why eXp. They have healthcare. I didn't know that. They have 3,000 offices throughout the US and Canada and around the globe. Yep. I didn't know that. They have KV Core, lead generating database and technology and stuff that's like, 20 live classes a day from commercial to residential. Yep. So I want you to watch it. It's called themodelexplained.com. And then I want you to call Chris. Call Chris and say, okay, Brent Gove said, I have 2 homework assignments. Watch themodelexplained.com and then call Chris, because Chris will explain to you what it's all about. And Chris is one of my partners here at eXp. You call Chris, it's like calling me. And so if I can help out, great, but call Chris. Watch webinar, call Chris. I watched that webinar 4.5 years ago, and I called Sheila back, which would be like Chris. And then I talked to other people like Gene Frederick, which would be like talking to me. And I did my homework. And 2 weeks later, I moved a $100 million producing team away from Keller Williams to a company nobody had ever heard of. And now I will close 100,000 homes this year. No problem. Yeah. It's gotten that big. It is crazy.
That is an expansion model like nothing you've ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, literally that is just unbelievable. Well, hey, I know time is precious, and I got a couple more quick questions, and then we're going to get you going here, Brent, because I know your day's packed today, and I can't thank you enough for taking time with us.
Rob?
If you had an agent sitting in front of you right now who is skeptical about eXp and just, kind of, I've heard it or I know it or blah, 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 what would you say to them?
Well, I mean, if you've heard it, then you should be here. And if you've heard it, well, I've heard it and I'm not that impressed, then I don't know what you saw and I don't know what you heard. But I'm telling you, if you will go watch and really listen, I mean, to do this podcast, I'll show you, we put our phones on airplane mode right there. It's still on airplane mode. I have to the airplane phone. So I put my phone on airplane mode to be present for Chris, for all of you. put your phone on airplane mode and then watch the modelexplain.com. Really listen, take notes, take pictures, and then do your homework. I did my homework. And I found a way in a 5-year period to make $2.1 million a year outside of real estate sales. And then I achieved it in 3 years. In my third year, I made $3.5 million. You know what I was making after 3 years at Keller Williams? Because they have a 7-generation payout for recruiting. They recruited Keller Williams, the largest company in the world.
Sure.
I was making $700 a month. It was a car payment. That's what I was making. And I was grateful. I thought, wow, it's way better than RE/MAX. I got 3 $10 Starbucks cards in 12 years at RE/MAX and a few free lunches. And they gave me a weekend cruise to Ensenada. Those are $199. I never even went. You go once, you'll never go again.
Yeah.
I think I won 2 or 3 of those. But all of a sudden, you know, to be able to make 2.1 million, well, I haven't seen that. So there you go. You haven't seen it all. You haven't heard it all. And I went to a friend of mine, Rick Jiha, who's a master faculty trainer, master trainer for Keller Williams. He owned at one time pieces of 5, at least 5, if not 7 Keller Williams. He was the OP. He owned it. He was the guy who had it going on. My favorite trainer at Keller Williams. They bring over I must have had 30 trainers come through my office. My favorite trainer, Rick Jiha. So I talked to him about eXp. He says, oh, I know all about it. Everyone's told me about it. I've seen it. I've heard it. I know all about it. And now I've been to Napa with him, with his wife and my wife, just for fun. Hey, let's meet Napa. Let's have dinner. And we did that. And they live an hour one direction. But we rendezvoused in Napa. So we know each other on a personal level. I said, okay, Rick, that's cool. 10 people have talked to you about it. You know all about it. You've seen it. You know all about it. I know all about it. I go, so you saw our 5-year plan to make $2.1 million. And you're not interested? Are you serious? Are you doing that well? And he goes, well, no, I haven't seen that. Okay, so you haven't seen everything. You haven't heard everything. He goes, okay, now we're friends. He goes, okay, fine, send it over. I'll watch it. He watches themodelexplained.com and he texts me 2 words, I'm in. No questions. Now, he's a friend of mine. He trusts me.
Right.
There's Sheila from Dallas who called me. I didn't know her, so I asked her a million questions. So my advice to you is, if you haven't seen the 5-year plan to make 2.1 million, you don't even know what you're saying no to. I've seen it. I've heard it. So you tell me how you make 2.1 million in a 5-year period. Chances are you have not seen that. And when you see that, I'll make sure Chris gets I'm going to make sure Chris here gets that illustration. I created it. And I talked about this about 4 years ago. At the time, I was making $27,000 a month in revenue share outside of my team, which will help with your mortgage payment, car payments. I've been in eXp 8 or 9 months at the time, and I was making $27,000 a month. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? And so I'm talking about this 5-year plan to make 2.1 million, but 27,000 a month is nowhere near, 180,000 a month that I was talking about, right? Whatever 2.1 million would be divided by, 12. And so, but my third year, I made 3.5 million. I mean, I didn't hit the goal of 2.1. I smashed it because of the model. So again, homework assignment. I'm going to give you 3. It's really easy. Watch the modelexplain.com. 2, call Chris. 3, have him show you the 5-year plan on how to make 2.1 million a year. It's 6-minute long illustration. Now I'm just going to call Chris right now and say, show me that. You have to get the foundation. I need you to watch the model. It's 33 minutes. We're talking about your life here. We're talking about, slow down, Action Jackson. Put your phone on airplane mode, get up tomorrow morning, get a cup of coffee and pay attention, because this will change your life and it'll change the lives of your family and friends. People in tears thank me for getting them involved with eXp. So I hope this was helpful. And that would be, and I will say one thing, Chris. You said, what would you say someone's skeptical? I want you to back up and taking a book and putting it on the bookshelf here, put it on the bookshelf, the idea of you leaving your current brokerage, because it creates stress and anxiety for people, because you have friends down there. You like your broker, you like your sales manager. You've been there for 5 years or 25 years or 35 years or 15 years. I get it. I had a little bit of that going on leaving Keller Williams. All my buddies. I built that office. I hired 177 agents in 1 year. Those agents were there because I said, come, and now I'm leaving. It was a little weird for me too. So here's what I want you to mentally do an exercise. If this was a book, pretend you're going to put it on the bookshelf right here. And that's the idea of you leaving Sotheby's or Coldwell Banker or RE/MAX or Keller Williams. You're not going anywhere. But make a commitment to me right now. that you will stay in curiosity about this model that's about to become the largest real estate company in the world in the next 24 months. It's going to happen, and you need to check it out. So stay in curiosity about the model, learn about the model. And after you do a little homework, spend an hour or two. If you decide it's not for you, fine, it's not for you. But I think if you do your homework, I think you'd be crazy not to be here, just crazy not to be here. And I will help you. Chris will help you. People you don't even know will help you. Or you can go to all those masterminds, all those classes, then go back to your room, your office, at your private office, at the office, shut the door, and it's you alone, banging the phones, calling the expireds, calling the for sale by owners. Maybe lace up your sneakers and you're door knocking 50 homes a day, 70 homes a day. You're pounding the open houses all weekend. It's you alone and going for it. And when I got in eXp, people I didn't even know started fighting for me to win, because if I won, they won. eXp gave them a more portion of what I created, and I ended up creating more, and they got more. I created a ton, they got a ton. So they kept working to help me. So it's pretty cool. And Chris and I are business partners. So like I said, watch that video, themodelexplained.com, call Chris, have him show you the 5-year plan to make 2.1 million. Then you decide. Chris, hope you do some helpful today.
That is fantastic. One last, and you're, again, I can't thank you enough. And it's funny, you talked about people crying. I know how you've changed our lives just in this short period of time we've been together. And, with Jeff and Marcy and Rodney and Amanda and so on. So, just the collaboration it's unreal, and the accessibility to you and so on. It's not like you're on some pedestal over here and you just don't pick up the phone.
Like I'm on some island in the Caribbean.
Yeah, just an island in the Caribbean. But you got a few friends down there, as I understand. We all do, come to think about it.
Yeah.
But any final thoughts before we go? And I promised I wouldn't cry, so I won't, because I could, because I of the way it's changed our lives. But
that's awesome.
Any final thoughts before we get going here? I
would say, if you seriously want to understand this, come to our next big event. We just did one in Dallas. I put together a mastermind, myself and Gene Frederick, and 5,000 people showed up. Tony Robbins showed up and flew in his Gulfstream, the scary team, and he was our keynote speaker the third day. But 5,000 people. I've seen Remax have 5,000 people show up. I've seen Keller Williams get 6,000, 7,000, 8,000. It was just an agent. How many agents you know? And it's not because Gene Frederick and I are special. It's because the model's unbelievable. We're already planning out 2024. What about 2024? We're going to have 15,000 people at our mastermind. 2023, we're going to have 10,000 people at our mastermind. We're already booking coliseums.
Yeah.
We're going to have 25,000 people. I mean, it's going to be unbelievable because eXp is changing lives. So I can say is come to our next big event. And right now, the next big event is November 9th, 10th, and 11th, 2021 in Las Vegas.
Yep.
People will see this video next spring because videos live on, right?
Sure.
So find out. The shareholders is every May. So maybe you're watching this next February, March, April of 2022. Shareholders is in May. Come. I went to the eXp event. There were 400 people there. I asked the founder, Glenn Sanford, Jason Gessing, the CEO. I met brokers of states. How do you like it? They really pay you. You really get these stock awards. They ever bounce your check? Are they ever late paying revenue share? And everyone's like, no, it's great. I love it. I love it. I love it. I've talked to 100 people. I came back and moved. And so if you're serious and you'd like to do some due diligence, come to our next big event. eXp Con is in November every year. It's our annual convention. We call it eXp Con, but it's our annual convention. And again, this year it's November 9th, 10th, 11th in Las Vegas.
Yep.
Probably going to be in Las Vegas the following November. This May, we'll have shareholders. I don't know where it's going to be. Could be in New Orleans. It could be in Florida and Orlando. But go to that. Check it out. Say, I want to show up to the eXp shareholders. By the way, have you been to a shareholder meeting? Because every corporation is required to have a shareholder meeting every year. And I've never been to one at Remax because I wasn't a shareholder. And I never went to one at Gary Keller. Keller's International is owned by Gary Keller himself. He has a shareholder meeting every year by himself at his house or somewhere. There's
a tight group.
They own bits of the region, but Keller is owned by Gary Keller, baby. And so I never went to shareholder meetings until I was a shareholder at eXp, and it was my company, and we all go every year. There'll be thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people there. You need to be there. That's shareholders in May. eXp showrooms, very formal. Wall Street's there, investors are there, CFO, financial reports, State of the Union. Awesome. It's a 3-day event, and then eXp Con in November. So that's my final day. It's a great place for you to check us out and do some serious homework. If you're serious, that is also another great step for you.
Yeah. Brent, again, brother, I can't thank you enough. For everybody, as Brent said, if you need to get a hold of us, click the link below. As we like to say, and if you couldn't gather it from what Brent said, as we like to say, if you knew what eXp could do for you, you would already be here. And obviously with Brent, he showed you the way. He showed us all the way. I can't thank you enough, my friend.
No problem. Thanks for having me on, Chris. I look forward to seeing you guys this year in Las Vegas at our annual convention. Chris, I'll high five you when I see you. Again, reach out to Chris, my business partner, and we'll go from there and we'll all get connected. Take care. We'll see you, Chris. Thanks for having me on.
Have an awesome day, my friend.